Shalom, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth and sincerity, and a shout out to Yakims out there on four corners of the earth proclaiming this truth. Braka the Yahweh, Braka the Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash, Braka Thum. So, out here another week, another day, and prophesying the downfall of Esau, Edom, and at least their flock, Amalek, drawing them out into this war that they cannot win, by the leader Donald J. Trump, the king of Babylon, stating that the Golan Heights is in fact Israeli territory, and the Israelis are the bastards dwelling in Ashdod right now, which is the region near Tel Aviv, so you actually know of the region, and so there they are, these bastards, they're drawing everybody into this war. And most of the war is being fought about oil, and Russia most recently intercepted the U.S. planned invasion of Venezuela by sending in its military to protect the people of Venezuela, the Maduro government. And so what's hilarious is Donald J. Trump thought that he would go ahead and threaten Vladimir Putin that he better pull out of Venezuela. And Putin just kind of laughed and said, why don't you get out of Syria? You weren't invited by the Syrian government, You've been in Syria, been destroying that country, so why don't you get out of Syria? Get your terrorist groups out of Syria. Oh, wait, they are moving these terrorist groups into Iraq, which is another place that was conquered by these devils. You see, pretty much, though, there's a play on words. And so, basically, MaGog has made its move to protect Venezuela and the government that's in power, because Maduro is the legitimate leader of Venezuela. He's not a U.S. puppet. He knows who Great Satan is, because all these nations know who Great Satan is. Roughly paraphrasing, but that's the title. And pretty much the great opposition, because that's what Satan means. So they know that their great opposition has always been the whore, Babylon the Great, America. And Zionism is being destroyed. And Albert Pike said that the third woe would be fought over political Zionism and Islam and Christianity, which all three of those these devils control. Because of course, they never wanted the people, the real people of the Most High, to rise up. But that's what's happening, though. But we're a small group amongst all that. Christianity has over 2.2 billion followers. Islam has a very large amount. I'm not sure what the numbers are there, but so does Judaism being the least of it, because Judaism is those gutterists and Amalekites. So the third woe would be fought over that, political Zionism. Now Zionism's a lot bigger than the cult of Judaism, but nonetheless, though, these bastards are going around saying that they're us, that they're the Jews, when in fact we know that. History shows that, they don't match any of the people that are in the lands down, But, to get himself mixed among them, that's why they call it Arabs, because Arab just means mixed race. They're not being called Ishmaelites, and that's how Esau gets in there, he claims to be of that nationality, and that's his way of. I'm not saying that he's an Edomite, because they're not going to tell you that they're a red Hebrew Edomite. We're the ones that are going out prophesying who they are. And so, in actuality, we're doing them a favor by telling them who they are. We're not giving them a false hope, such as their leaders are. And in fact, the attitude of Reading and everything, they love to blame the homeless for the problem, but then car fire came and destroyed half of Reading, the other half of those that wouldn't help out their own. This is a far cry. They wouldn't even help out their own, and now they're homeless too. So are the homeless really to blame for everything? No, man. But this is how Esau treats his own, and I think more than anything else is just their attitude towards their own is what caused the judgment to come down. Of car fire. But it was a sinister plan all along. Nonetheless, though, you can see it, man. Businesses closed, and fucking goddamn Edomite. Their system is fucking being torn down to the ground, man. They ain't got nothing to stand. on. You know, they're dying. Man died in a wheelchair yesterday. Nobody even noticed it. You know, and I'll show that later in another video. Reading Homeless channel has it, man. Man died in a wheelchair. Nobody even noticed it, you know. Because, of course, this devil's come down hard, you know. And he ain't sparing any. You think anybody gives a shit about the homeless? They haven't for years. You know, you think that the car fire would have taught them a lesson that they... Nope. So, none of that. This devil has no mercy. But the least of their flock, Amalek, is drawing them into this war, you know. And this is just a play on, because a few months ago, Bashar al-Assad said that he was going to liberate all of Syria from the terrorist groups, including the Golan Heights. And, you know, that's why Donald J. Trump's out there to declare, hoping that, you know, this would spark off a few things. It will, just like when he declared Jerusalem the capital of Amalek, the Israeli state, you know, which we know, though, that this devil's coming to his end. And then, of course, he had also signed into law an EMP, about an EMP. So we know that that's most likely the future false flag, you know, greater than 9/11, is to do an EMP and then to say that it was Russia or China that did it, you know, just so that way they can have their martial law. Because the army after next, don't think of the U.S. soldiers coming in. No, the UN army after next is armies of a foreign thing, and they shall not regard silver or gold. You know, you can't buy these off, you know, and pretty much they'll be speaking a language you don't understand. Nonetheless, though, that's what's coming, and that's how the mark of the beast most likely will play out, because we know they're planning to do the false flag EMP attack. Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 6, and Abasa shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines, and I will take away his blood out of his mouth, and his abominations from between his teeth, that he may remaineth, even he shall be for our Yahweh, our power, and he shall be as a governor in Judah, Ekron, as a Jebusite. And I will encamp about mine house because of the army, because of him that passeth by, and because of him that returneth, and no oppressor shall pass through them any more, for now have I seen with mine eyes. So pretty much what's going to happen is that we're going to eventually be back in our land. And these bastards will never be able to pass through again. In fact, Esau's going to be taken out of power completely. Well, he's going to be taken out of power. He's going to be in slavery for 1,000 years. And then eventually he will be found no more. The Edomites will be done away with. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, the king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly, and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim, and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off. And he shall speak unto the heathen, and his dominion shall be from sea to sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth. And pretty much, you know, what's going to happen is there will no longer be a separation between Ephraim and Judah, you know, pretty much Jerusalem and Yashahala. We will all be under Yahweh Shai. And pretty much, though, in order to be a part of that, ruling power, rather than being a commoner, means that you would have to have been part of the elect. And right now, he's only speaking to the elect. Only the elect of his people are going to be the ones that really, truly understand this. But it's more than just to understand this. It's coming out here and proclaiming this, you know. And this is the time to go proclaim it, you know. Proclaim our heritage, because these bastards have been dwelling in our land and been claiming themselves to be the people of the Most High. And you know damn well that they're not. Their God is money. And you can just see that money doesn't buy everything. Definitely, you know, ain't going to spare them in that hour of judgment. You know, this nuclear war is about to happen. And he's going to judge them from their chariots as well. And they're going to be terrified, because most of your common Edomites still are looking for that Caesar Borgia image. They're going to be quite surprised when they find out that he has dark skin and hair white like wool. You know, a very dark-skinned man with hair white like wool coming in the clouds with eyes of flame of fire. They're going to be very scared of that, because they know what they've done. And he's going to bring it into their remembrance what they've done to him and what they've done to his people. Because he's going to plead with them, meaning that he's going to show them, just as he destroys them, they're going to know the moment that they see him, and they're going to be terrified, you know. And that comes in an hour that nobody expects, you know, when they see the Son of Man coming in from the clouds. It's going to be very quick, just like the hypersonic missile can come here in about 15 minutes from one side of the earth to the other. Just think about 200 million of them coming, as well as the chariots coming to save us. You know, so we pray we're part of that elect, which is why we come out here, whether it be raining, storming, or snowing, or be a nice day. Either way, we come out here and we proclaim this on the streets, you know. So what if they mock at us? So what if they say their shit? So what if they come up upon us? We have that protection. Because if we didn't have that protection, well, either way though, in that last hour though, we'll know whether we have the protection or not. And we want to be under that protection. The time of Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. As you can see though, that with these laws passed, that pretty much it gives the authority to the army after next, the UN, to take over in a national emergency such as an EMP. Oh wait, we're under a national emergency. So you see how this shit can just roll in? So anyhow, technically under state of emergency, but that's the same thing, isn't it? Anyhow, hope all this has been edifying, you know. A lot of things going on. And as I said before, Writing Homeless channel, which I'll re-upload that video in another video I'll do so you can see it. Man died in a wheelchair. Nobody even noticed it. Lots of people die here in Reading and nobody even notices it. You could be dead for a week and nobody would notice it. So that's what the scriptures meant when he says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. You know, because we know who this evil man is. Esau, Edom. You know, you could die here and nobody would even notice it. But if you're the men of the Most High, you're going to have that protection. Pray you have that protection. Some dark times are coming upon us. Worse than the first Exodus. But out of that, he's going to save us. For all that, I want to say, Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Makal Bracha Dum. Hope this has been edifying. Death to America and death to you 2/3. Shalom.